So, cool. So yeah, so I'm with my buddy Alex right now. But I want to get this video before the sunset. And Neo, the training woman, came and she spent about 3.5 hours here. And then we took Neo for a walk, and she gave me her opinion and all that stuff. The thing that's troubling about dog training is you got all these different schools of thought, and of course they all think they're right, and they all can easily convince you that the other one is wrong through some metaphor. It's like if you did this to a human, blah blah blah. So it's tricky because it's like I really want to push you to convince me. But I know that then it's just going to be like I'm arguing with you, and also will you actually be able to get into that depth? It's funny, isn't it? Just, experts and the explanations are so simple. It's like very clearly those people are wrong because of this very simple explanation. Okay, so some trainers will tell you the dog should earn his meal, and so like you say, you have him sit, lie down, sit, lie down. Okay, good job. So you get your meal, and their explanation for that is very simple. It's that what he's doing is he's associating a good thing, eating, with obedience and listening to you, and yeah. So I mean that makes perfect sense. But then you'll have the other person, they'll say, oh no, that's totally wrong. Imagine if I came to you and I said, before you eat, you have to do these tricks or something. And it's like, oh, well, of course they're wrong, because that's silly. I'm not respecting him. I'm just, whatever. So then you got the other people, you have to be his master, and you have to show him that you're the master. And she's like, no, that's wrong. And her explanations were very simple and fairly convincing. And so it's just funny. But we even talked about biases and so on. Just after the session, she just stayed for a little bit, and I was saying that everybody thinks they're right, and they've got. I mean, I wasn't even really thinking about the dog training thing or talking about that. I was telling her what I study and what I'm interested in. Because what had happened was she asked me, "Do you have an email?" She said maybe I could send you. Do you have? Maybe I could send it to you by email. And I go, yeah. And she goes, "Do you have an email address?" And I go. And she goes, "You do?" And I go, "Yeah, it's 2020, right?" And so she goes, "Oh no, I ask everybody that," or something like that. And I said, "Well, I just noticed that since I moved out here, all of a sudden, because where I'm from, you have a social security number and an email address, obviously. But it's true that a lot of people out here don't have an email address. But in any of my daily activities, I felt like in my previous life, people would just be like, "What's your email address? May I have your email address?" But now people ask you twice, "Do you have one? Do you know what a computer is?" And so I pointed that out, and she said, "Oh, okay, you know what? Maybe it was that sort of judgment that I had." And so then we started talking about it, and I said, that's what I'm interested in, and how. And she said maybe I bugged out, I guess is a good translation. Peut-être que j'ai bugué, which means like maybe I tripped or tweaked. She said, yeah, maybe I tweaked, but I didn't feel like I tweaked. That's what she said. And I said, exactly. That's the thing. We don't realize when we are tweaking. There's no feeling. Your unconscious doesn't say, "Hey, I'm about to lead you astray. Hey, I've got this judgment for you, this conclusion for you, but, watch out, maybe you don't want to listen to me. I've only been evolving for a few millions of years through various species, but, that's just my opinion. You take your time, you fucking neocortex, the bark of the tree, No, the unconscious says, here's what's happening, boom, it doesn't tell you. No, you don't feel that. So that's what we talked about. And so, of course, with her training, now I am kind of, because she did seem very intelligent. So I would love to try, but I always give people the benefit of the doubt. I think they're going to be able to have this conversation and they leave upset. But I want to be able to be like, the other explanations are, so we're going to have to take this point by point, step by step, and let's evaluate who's right here. Do you have studies? Because studies would more clearly indicate who's right. Because you can have analogies and all that and just logical whatever all day long. But anyway, that's my 5 minutes. Ciao.